First off, thank you to the fans. I thought that the stadium was loud tonight, pushed us on when we needed it. Obviously, a week where maybe the most unique of my coaching career in terms of not knowing player availability, injuries, suspensions, international call-ups. We probably had 4 to 5 different lineups selected, and we're training them during the course of the week. Hoping for the best scenario. We got the absolute worst scenario in terms of who we were missing. But before the game started, we talked about the 16 guys in this locker room doing whatever it takes to get 3 points tonight. It's not about formations, it's not about tactics, it's not about any of that. It's about finding a way in our home stadium to take 3 points. And I give full credit to all the players tonight for the effort that they put in to keep a clean sheet. Next man up mentality, and a lot of really, really good performances. I'd also say that our medical staff, our sports performance department, and all my assistants, it was a challenging week in terms of not knowing exactly who we could select. But overall, couldn't be prouder of the guys. A big win tonight. Obviously, we're early in the season. Maybe not our best performance compared to even the Kansas City and Atlanta performances, but at the same time, it was about rolling up the sleeves, getting 3 points, and we got a really big performance from David Acom. Obviously, El Senior chipping in with the goal as well. So we're a team, and that every guy has to be ready when they're called upon, and I thought tonight that showed.
David has been through so much over the last year and a half, and obviously we just found out a moment ago that he was even more than that. For you to see him finally get the goals and let him out tonight, how rewarding was that for you?
Yeah, it was emotional for him, for sure, as well. We're all rooting for David. He's gone through a lot on the field, off the field, injuries, things he can control, things he can't control. So for him to have a performance like tonight when we really needed it as a team was big time. He really stepped up, not just because he scores 2 goals, but his work rate defensively. I thought on the counterattack, giving us time to breathe. Just a really top performance from David, and a credit to him because he's put a lot into the offseason, coming back of injury, and again, really happy for him. He's a great kid. He's been professional throughout his entire time here. He just wants to help and reward the fans and reward his teammates, and he did that tonight, which was a special moment for David.
You talked a little bit about the mentality, but especially with the attacking guys, knowing that there's really very little attacking help on the bench. Do you kind of package that for them as it kind of has to be you guys that put in the shift and create the chances and get the goals as they're going to come?
Yeah, it's no secret we play our best when we have a lead as well. When we get ourselves ahead by a goal and teams have to change and open up, it leads to us being able to take control of possession and then hitting teams on the break. So we put our best attacking group that we could out there to start the game, got our goal, and then the players did the rest from there. So overall, yeah, we knew reserves was going to be limited, we'll just say. There were situations where we were even saying to close the game out, if one of the front 3 tires, how do you get McKenzie or Calm up there just to win head balls or something like that in an emergency situation. We talked through hundreds of scenarios, and when I say 100, it probably literally was 100 different things that can happen during this week. That's been strange. But overall, needed the attackers to step up, and they did in a big way. David gets 2, El Senior gets 1, Fafa runs like crazy, was a pest all night, deserved a goal, but maybe doesn't get one. But happy with the front 3 and how they performed, and everyone else around them did a good job.
Jimmy, you guys gave up 1 shot target. I think it was pretty weak 1-1. Carlos, what can you say about the defensive performance tonight?
Yeah, listen, it's still a very young back line, but it's one that is growing with every game. Again, it's still early, we're 4 games into this thing, so they've faced some really tough attacks, Kansas City and Atlanta. Tonight we really were able to limit Columbus's opportunities. We started in the game plan to deal with Higuain and the way he floats around the field. And also, might sound unique, but the right back, Full, is one of the most dangerous attackers that our league has. So really making him defend is the best defense for us. But then also, tracking him, doing a good job, making it a hard night for him. And I thought we did that for the most part. But yeah, the box defending from the back four, taking pride in keeping a clean sheet. Carlos had minimal action, but when he was called upon, did a good job, catching a cross or two. Overall, we get clean sheets as a team, but the back four certainly is performing really well right now.
Mike, talking about defense, Kai Wagner had another strong match. What have you made of his performances through 4 games?
Yeah, he's been excellent for us. He's been even more than I anticipated, to be honest. So again, as a coach, you're getting a young left back. Left back is across the world right now. Even when you watch the international games this weekend, there's not very many strong left backs, and Kai has stepped into a job and has been a top defender for us in every one of our games. Has had some really tough assignments as well when you look at the wingers that he's facing. Tonight was no different, and he stepped up and made it look easy. So he's been composed, he's been intelligent with his winning his duels, and then he can obviously cross the ball as you saw tonight. We got to start to get maybe guys attacking that back post because he only needs half a step to whip in the ball. So overall, Kai's been excellent for us. Still young too, also. So it's a good thing, and it's again a backline that's growing together. It does take a little time to get used to each other's strengths and weaknesses on the field, but you're starting to see them pick that up now, and really proud of the effort and the clean sheet.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Aaronson's performance like
Yeah.
coming off the adrenaline of
Yeah.
his first start down in Atlanta?
Yeah. In some ways, I talked with the staff even before we played in Atlanta, saying that as crazy as it sounds, he's going to be nervous going into this, but this is actually an easier game to play in than it is on your home stadium because there's nothing to lose. You're supposed to lose in Atlanta. That's a fact. When any team goes there, you're supposed to get beat. He's got 50,000 people. I think he was probably numb for the first 10 minutes of that game and then just kind of settled in and was actually really clean and dominant on the ball. Whereas here now, he probably has 150 tickets that he has to leave for people. There's the press the whole week that he has to do, and the Medford Messy or whatever you guys write. I think I've heard. So again, these are a lot of things for a young kid to hear and digest, and then still keep a level head. Again, he's 18 years old. When I was 18, again, I think I've said this before, but I was throwing rocks at cars. So he's doing some things at 18 that aren't normal, but he's not normal. He's a special player. We have to keep him humble and hungry. He was nervous tonight. Like you could see, not quite as clean. We talked at halftime about just connecting your first couple passes of the second half and easing into it. It wasn't his sharpest game. I'm going to demand a lot of the kid, even though he is 18. So again, it's a scenario where I think he can be better, and I'm gonna hold him to that. But overall, he still worked his tail off, ran a lot, ran until he cramped up. But it is different, playing at home, away, and it's all new for him. So we'll work this week again to get him prepared for Cincinnati. But he's proven to be a guy that we need in our starting 11, which is pretty special for an 18-year-old.
Stay on fire.
Coach, as somebody who's returned home himself,
Yeah.
what did you say to Brendan before the game about what this experience was going to be like and how to get his emotions under control?
It's such a weird one because I feel like he's been in the stadium so many times, like as a fan, as an academy kid, as now a professional. So it kind of feels the same. I think to him, he's comfortable here, but what people don't always recognize is for a young professional is the distraction that can come during the course of the week, the leaving tickets, making sure you're calling everybody back, texting everybody, and trying to keep a level head and preparing for what the most important thing is, which is stepping on the field against Columbus, against Artur and Ricardo Clark, who probably have, I know Rico alone probably has 350 games under his belt and is going to be chasing you all night. So, it's an experience where you try to make it as comfortable for him as possible. But once the whistle blows, he usually settles in, just like he did in Atlanta, just like he did tonight. But again, I'm going to demand a lot of him because he's a special player, and I think he could have been a little sharper in some areas tonight. He said the same thing, so we see it the same way. He demands a lot of himself. Has a bright future. We're going to try and pull every ounce of talent out of him.
Two more, Evan, and then John.
At what point this week were you aware of the lineup that you had available to you, so Jameer and stuff?
With Jameer specifically, I would say this morning, finally found that out. And then with Marco, it was Thursday afternoon, mid-afternoon.
Was that something you were able to prepare for, both of those?
What do you mean, like prepare?
Like, how did you prepare? Like, what was the
You prepare like they're going to play because
Yeah.
they're key players. So you have different guys taking reps at different spots. You know, talking about is the diamond the best with the personnel that we have? Is it a little bit of a tweak of a 4-2-3-1? So we had a couple plans going in, hoping that both guys would at least be available to us. Unfortunately, they weren't. I'm not going to talk much about that. I have a lot to say on that, but I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. They just moved and probably need some money for furniture. So I'll keep my mouth shut on the whole process and the way that was all handled. But yeah, it was difficult. I'll just say that. I give the players and my coaching staff a ton of credit for the professionalism that they all showed. But yeah, going into literally Friday, we had even the walkthrough of practice up until we walked out on the field. We still weren't sure exactly what personnel we had or what formation we were going to use or how we were going to tweak things a little bit. So it was difficult, unique.
Okay, last one, John.
I think you might have mentioned it in passing already, but Erickson was fine after whatever found out.
Yeah, I think it's just a cramp. Yeah, he was fine. He had a rubber. He's good.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, guys. Thank you.
We'll open up the locker room now.